I'm just like outwardly thinking to myself, right? And I'm just like, I know how they say, like, no new friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean, you want to be able to, like, have platonic friendships and romantic partnerships to lead into something that's long lasting, right? But I'm just thinking, right? It is of the effervescent. You hear? Of the effervescent. This word that I'm utilizing is of the effervescent. That means, like, I don't know, shit. Look it up. Let me tell you something. Me, I didn't know. I thought that I was just like a regular normal person. I mean, everybody has gifts. Everybody's born with gifts. Everybody's been through something. Everybody has a journey. Everybody has a walk. But when I say, when people say new levels, new devils, they're not joking. No matter whether you rich, you poor, whatever. You broke, you wealthy, whatever. It's serious out here. And I'm only speaking from my perspective because I can't speak from anybody else's perspective. I must have a really, really high calling over my life from the Alpha and Omega. To be going through like some fuck shit for almost 15 years, the same energies, the same people doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and oh my gosh. You would think, like, okay, even myself, like sometimes, like, you can get tired of hearing your own voice. If you, not your own voice, but like you can get tired of nagging or complaining or just doing the same redundant things, right? You can get tired of that same thing if it's like you become a robot or a broken record and it's just like repeating, right? But let me tell you something. If you have a high calling over your life, okay? A very, very high calling over your life. Because this is the only thing I can relate to, and not to boost or boast or anything like that. But like, you got to know who you sleep with. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not being like, what's the word I'm trying to think of? I'm not being overzealous. I am not playing at all. Like, y'all better know who y'all sleep with. Because when you create that soul bond or whatever, what is it called, soul tie with someone, and say you create a soul tie with like somebody that you're not supposed to create a soul tie with, you might see signs of it, but you might not love yourself in that time frame, right? You may not love yourself then, right? Enough to know that you don't even love yourself. That's how deep this shit is. Like, you might not even know that you don't love yourself at the time that you don't really love yourself. So you're going to accept what you accept. And you think that because it's natural for people to love, to want to love, to want to receive love, to want to be with someone who, like, will make them feel whole, right? Okay. So you want to be with somebody that makes you feel like that, but that's a codependency to make you feel like that. That's a codependency to make you feel like that, because in order to have that person in your life, you have to love yourself. That means that if you have that person in your life, you won't accept just anything. Like if they are emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually abusive towards you, that's not something that you would want just to settle, right? But when you're young or when you're immature, when your mindset is not at that level yet, you won't know the difference. You won't even know, you might know some things that you may have to work on within oneself, but you might not know, because nobody knows everything. And some people lack at different things. And not everybody is 100% at everything. Just like if somebody says something or whatever, if they can identify that they may have said something wrong and not be in denial about it, or admit that they did something wrong and not be in denial about it, then that means that they could fix it. You know what I'm saying? That means that there's something that they can work on within themselves. But if it's something that you don't know that you are familiar with, but maybe unfamiliar with, but it's something that you may not know that you need to work on, or you may not be able to identify within oneself, then you're not going to know how to fix it, and you're not going to know that it needs fixed, right? Okay, so here we go. So we have, and I'm not leaving myself out the game, because in order for me to know these things, I have to learn, right? I have to learn from endeavors that I've put myself into. I have to learn from decisions that I've chose to make, because you can't blame anybody for your decisions. You can't blame anybody from your from the choices that you wanted to make. You can't blame anybody but you, because at the end of the day, even if you got a person or whatever that you had children with, or that you didn't, that you just chose to be with, and they were not the person for you, then that still is your decision making. You can't blame nobody but yourself. You know what I'm saying? At the same sense, you can't blame, I can't blame anything that I've done but myself, because that's my decision making. Duh, you know what I mean? But still, in the same sense, if you got somebody, okay, when you sign a contract, like with whatever you sign a contract with, it could be with entertainment, it could be with a person creating a child. That is a contract. That is a huge contract, because for real, you're signing up to be that parent, that mother or father of that parent, and you're signing up that child to have this particular parent, so that child has to endure whatever you're signing them up for. And you have people out here that dislike themselves, or because not only does it require you to fix oneself, it also requires you to help those children go through those decision makings that you have made from that one decision of sleeping with that person and creating a parent for that person that you're supposed to love forever. So Of course, a lot of people, as we get older, we age and we come into wisdom and we see different things. Some people wish that they can go back and change certain things. Or maybe tweak it. You know what I'm saying? When you tweak it, you know what I mean? Maybe tweak it a little bit. You know what I mean? And that's on every aspect, but you still have to live with your decision making. That decision that you're making is like a domino effect. It's going to affect you. It's going to affect your seeds. It's going to affect everybody that you're around. Let me tell you something. When you have a child by someone and they can affect one person can affect multiple people in your life. And I'm not talking about blame game. Okay, let's get that out the way. The only person that you can blame is yourself. That's one thought. Okay, you can't blame anybody else. But after you go through the feelings, go through the emotions, go through the thoughts, you still have to deal with your decision making, because if you were unhealthy at that time, of course you're going to attract somebody else that's unhealthy at that time. You know what I mean? So you were unhealthy, so you attracted somebody else that's unhealthy. So therefore, then y'all created a baby. And then as you became healthy, or even if you didn't become healthy and they became healthy, then you still have to deal with that unhealthy side. If a person is not evolving, okay, 2, 4, 5, 10, 15 years later, 20 years later, they're not going to evolve, okay? I'm not saying that they won't ever. I'm just saying after a person begins to evolve, they begin teamwork. Okay? Because everything you go through with the emotions, with the thoughts, with the decision making, with all of that, after that first decision making, that first big decision that you made to create life with someone, after you start going through that process of loving yourself, teaching your children, maybe love is it might be in different ways, sometimes people love people in different ways. They show it differently. You can't control nobody else's household. You can't control nobody else's person. You can't control nobody else's being, nobody else's parenting skills. That's not for you to control. Your control is yourself. Your control is your own household. Your control is you. You have to understand that when you're creating relationships create other relationships, correct? Okay. But when you have, and I'm only generally speaking, when you decide, right, that I need to fix me, I have to work on me, that also means you have to work on your offspring. You have to teach yourself, you have to teach your offspring. If the person that you created life with has a vendetta, a vengeance, and years have passed, I'm not going to say months, because it takes years to it takes years to evolve, start evolving, in the midst of evolving. And we never start evolving until we're gone, until we're out of here. You know what I'm saying? We never stop learning until it's the end of us. We expire. But and I hate to use the word but it's like when you have a high calling over your life and things may not be what you think they are when you first initiated into thinking something might be love, when really it was more of a codependency or a lack of self-love. We all have to go through something. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, that's just too long. I'm not even going to lie. That's just too long. If a person is doing the same thing for that amount of time, and you've learned how to you yourself have learned how to shut certain things off, certain people off, certain things people do. You see how people rock, how people roll. And that's why the elders used to tell us, you ain't got no friends. You ain't got no friends. Your friends is your family, the healthy ones. You know what I'm saying? Because not all of them is your friends either. Not all of them you're supposed to be around either. But when you evolve and you're evolving and you don't have time for that bullshit, you don't have time for somebody trying to do the same. You think that gets old, but so we're gonna wisp, all right? You think that gets old for you because you've evolved and you don't want to fight, argue, down each other, just all that whack stuff. You don't want to do all of that. You want to grow. You want to co-parent healthily, right? It's people out here. They're not. That's why they say, for not we don't battle flesh and blood, but it's principalities. It is real, okay? Whether you want to believe it or not, it's principalities. It's not people. You don't know what they do behind closed doors. You don't know what they call on, what they pray to. They can be in a church every Sunday and be worshiping the devil on Monday, okay? Monday through Sunday, they in the devil's closet, and Sunday they at church, okay? The devil knows the Bible, okay? But, like, when you're going through something over and over for years, and like this message is going to reach a lot of people, but it's going to reach the message. I mean, the message is going to reach the people who need it. The people who need the understanding that kind of identify with what's really going on. Don't be afraid, okay? Don't be scared. Don't fear nothing. You don't fear nothing, okay? It's a contract you sign. You sign. Whether you signed it while you was here or you signed it before you got here. You signed it. I'm not going to tell you nothing that I wouldn't tell myself. I'm not going to tell you nothing that I wouldn't tell my family. The contract that you sign, you have to ride it out. I'm sorry, but you got to ride it out. I mean, you could complain. Everybody got problems. Who's going to listen? Who's going to listen? People got things to do. Everybody going through something. But let me tell you something. The ones who are going through these things for years on years and years, and you see that the people who's trying to take you through these things, they keep doing it over and over and over. And it's like, gosh, you ain't tired yet, bruh? You ain't tired yet. This don't get old to you. I mean, it's nothing for you to co-parent. You that unhealthy in mind that you don't want to just like get along for your children. Get that out the way. 18 years, yeah, it's long, but it's not that long to just like alleviate your blood pressure, alleviate stress, get through it and get over it and like be better for yourself. Because, I mean, it's heavy after a while. It's heavy. Not even after a while. It's heavy, period. But you don't want to grow? I'm just going to keep doing the same thing. That don't get overwhelming? No, some people do not care. They'll do it over and over again. You know why? Because there are entities. There are entities that have been waiting here for thousands of years, dormant. And now they got an outlet. They got an outlet. They got an outlet to come through a person, because that's the only way that they can live. They got to come through a person, through a vessel. They have to come through that vessel, and they don't get tired. They ain't got nothing but time. Why would they get tired? Why? Why would they get tired? This their height. This their action. They're not going to get tired. They're going to keep doing the same thing over and over, using the same words. They're going to mock you. They're going to try to mimic you. They're going to try to be you. They're going to be mad because they ain't you. They're going to be mad because they can't defeat you. You better keep going. New levels, new devils. Keep going. Do not stop. This is a motivational video. I'm not here to talk about what I'm going through, what you going through. No, keep moving. Only people can hurt you is if you allow them. Only things that can hurt you is if you allow it to hurt you. You've been through worse. Keep going. Misery loves company. I've been taught that since I was little. Misery loves company. If anybody was so beautiful in their life and they had all of this and they did all of this, they wouldn't even have time to even bother you. They wouldn't even have time to even stalk you. They wouldn't have time to even portray that you a bad this and you a bad that. They wouldn't have time to do it because they'd be living their life. They'll be happy within themselves, so they wouldn't have nothing negative to say about you. Keep going. It is imperative. I don't care what nobody talking about. I don't care if your mama tell you, oh, stay with them. Oh, you can deal with it. Oh, you strong. Oh, don't fight. Don't fight it. You can be this, you can be that. They a good man, Savannah. No. If you love yourself, you won't accept anything less than what you deserve. And I'm not talking about no gold diggers. I'm not talking about nobody trying to use nobody. I'm not talking about nobody sitting around trying to gain off of you. No. People will show you who they are. Like, it might take them a little bit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Their head might peep out a little bit. People will show you who they are. Believe them. Like, I just had a conversation with somebody, and I'm trying to explain. Not everybody's on, 100% with, nobody's really on 100%, but if I'm wrong, check me. You know what I'm saying? If I say something wrong to offend you or make you feel some type of way, check me. My mind might be rewinding, trying to figure things out to understand how you understand, but I'm not going to understand how you understand. But I'm still living a human experience, so that's just how my mind going to rock, and I'm going to apologize, and I'm going to say, okay, if I was wrong, I was wrong. Check me. Thank you for pulling me up. Can we move forward? And then I might try to figure out, still in my mind, dang, I didn't mean to make you feel that way. I didn't mean to say these things, or I didn't mean to do these things, but I'm taking accountability, though. I might say it because I am reiterating it to my mind to try to comprehend how you feel, so I won't make you feel like that, because you are a reflection of me. Whoever I'm speaking to right now, you are a reflection of me, and I'm a reflection of you. So I might be showing you different things within yourself, and you may be showing me different things within you, and we just reflecting each other. Good or bad, we reflecting each other. But people that don't want to take accountability of what they do, you don't understand how deep the rabbit hole goes. Nobody does. It's so deep. Well, I ain't gonna say nobody does. Nobody regular, degular or a normal person that's not in like whatever they in understands that. They don't understand like how deep the rabbit hole goes. I think it goes so deep. I don't think it's of understanding of anything. Like nobody can really comprehend the level of it. Although it's some people out here. You take, for example, you get with somebody or whatever that really don't like you, but will fake like they do to create life with you, right? And then they create life with you, and then you find out that they really don't like you, and y'all don't, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't mesh, y'all don't work, or whatever, words said, things is done, whatever. And then you move on and you think that you've moved on, and like, no. The whole point was to wrap you, keep you stuck, and try to harm you in every way, physically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, to harm you because they never liked you in the first place. Somebody that can take that intent, and then they go and find people with that same intent, and they be with them, and they create whatever coven, whatever group, whatever thing they try to create to try to bring you down. And then you wondering, why you going through this? Why you going through that? Losing people, going through this? No, you don't know what's going on. And then if you're not raised in that type of understanding that like people do these types of things, you're not gonna know. You're gonna just be ignorant to the fact. And let me tell you something. The whole, whether you're Christian, whether you're holiness, whatever you are, I don't know. I don't care. I'm just telling you. Regardless of you don't believe, some things will make you believe. And even if you don't believe, like you might hear stories to make you think otherwise, okay? You won't know what's going on because you don't want to know what's going on. And like, you're more susceptible to succumb to what's going on and still not even know. You know, like how many people there are that are jealous and have envious spirits, and you didn't create a life with these people? I wait. Now, to the people that are, try to project, the ones who, because we're going to have both scenarios. The people that it's done to actually, and then the people who actually try to act like it's done to them, but they're really doing it. The culprits, To the ones who are the culprits. Your day is going to come, babe. You better get your life together, bruh. Because justice is coming. Justice is coming. It's real. It's not a game. This is how you know if somebody know better. This is how you know. If they don't want it done to them, what they do to you. That's how you know they know better. When they say, when the Bible says, be careful. Oh, no. It says, for they not know what they do. Oh, they know what they do. That part, No, they don't know what they do to a depth. Meaning, they don't know how it's going to come back to them. That's how my perspective is from it. It's not that they don't know what they do. They know what they do. Because if they didn't know what they did, or I'm sorry, if they didn't know what they did, it'd be a little bit different. They know what they did because they wouldn't want it done back to them. That's the whole rule of life. Life thumb is do unto people as you would want them to do unto you. If you wouldn't want them to treat you like that, and everybody has selfish characteristics. Everybody has selfish characteristics. Everybody has narcissistic characteristics. Everybody has lying tenderisms, whatever you call it. Everybody has that. It's what energy we work out of, though. Because, like, you can work out of those things, but, it ain't no different from a person working out of a yes ma'am, yes sir. I done been that. I ain't that no more. But it took me a long time to get out of that. Being somebody's stepping stool, being somebody's foot rug, people thinking that I'm just gum on the bottom of their shoe. It done took me a long time of unindoctrination of being somebody's bitch. I ain't nobody's bitch. And I ain't never gonna be nobody's bitch. Not no more. I've grown. I'm not perfect. I don't expect to be perfect. And I'm not trying to be. I'm not about to people please nobody. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I'm not about to throw shade. If I'm gonna tell you what it is, it's just gonna be what the fuck it is. Yeah, I'm pretty short with like conversations and stuff now or whatever, because let me tell you something, how people are. It's some people out here, right, that are they might have created their own secret society. They might be in one. They might be in a group. They might have created their own little coven. They might have did a bunch of shit. At the end of the day, when you love yourself, when you know the God within you, can't nobody hurt you. Can't nobody do nothing to you. You just have to get through it. Get through it. It's not what you go through, because everybody goes through something. It's how you get through it. And how you get through it is not by hurting someone else. It's not by doing that. It's not about getting even. Yeah, I believe an eye for an eye. Yes, I do. But I'm not about to be out here, oh, you did this, let me do this. That takes too much energy, man. It just takes too much energy. Sitting out here hating people. Oh, she look like this. I just can't stand it. Man, you could be the most attractive person on the outside and be a snake. A snake. Man. You can be the most unattractive person on the outside and be like the most beautiful angel, beautiful type. Look, beauty's only skin deep. If you don't love yourself, you ain't gonna love nobody else. And how you know if a person love their self is how they treat you. Okay? If they going and sleeping with your person or whatever behind your back, or they going lying and manipulating all kinds of things, your kids, and lying to your kids and all of that stuff. First off, let's clamp this out. Because I don't care about no friendships and all of that stuff. That shit, you ain't got no ties to them. You got ties to your babies. That's who you got ties to. And to the people that don't have babies, then yeah, you could talk about the friendships and all of that stuff. But a person that will tell your children hateful things about you and say hateful things about you and actually hate you, how can they possibly love their children? And I'm being real. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Even though, like, I went through the slums. You hear me? I've went through the motherfucking slums with the people that I had made a decision to be with, I went through the motherfucking slums. That is because of my own decision making, because I didn't love myself, okay? That's because of, I don't blame nobody, but I don't blame them. You see a fool, you use a fool. You know what I'm saying? But like at the same sense, at the end, person that like I really, really, really adored, I really, really, really care for, I ain't had no kids by. And that's our business. What happened between us. But the ones that I chose to have children by is the ones who did me the dirtiest. And that's because I didn't love myself. Yeah, in my mind, I was like, oh yeah, we created, even though we went through all of this stuff, we created these babies off of love. Out of love. Nigga, 15 years later, they doing the same shit. 18 years later, the same shit. That shit wasn't created out of motherfucking love. That was cum. Semen. Anybody can make a baby. And then you got somebody, their dad still hating. I don't know. What did Young Dolph say? I'm just saying. You beefing with a dyke? That wasn't the message, though. A female. Any man who hate on a female, I'll wait. I will wait. Any nigga who hate on a female, I'll wait. Just like any woman who hate on a male, I'll wait. I'm just saying. But this is what I'm saying, okay? Like, you gotta love yourself, baby. You gotta love yourself. Love yourself first. Like, the generation that our children or grandchildren is coming up in, it's totally different, you know? I was raised in the 80s and 90s, like 2000s and stuff, and like, it's different. It's different. Like, these younger generations, they didn't ask to be here just like we didn't ask to be here, but like, they desensitized to emotional elevation. They desensitized to it. You know, you gotta, in order for you to grow, and even if you was to find a person when you're in your teenage years and you're with them for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, my mama always told me, you never know a person 100%, ever. You could be with them for 50 or 60 years and still not really know them, because you don't know how they act like they know each other. You don't know but what you see on TV or what you see, on the screen. That's all you know. You don't know what has happened in their household. You don't know what they've went through. You don't know how they've gotten through it. Don't think because you with somebody for a certain amount of time, but it is alignment. If you on the same range as growing, like aligning with a person, and y'all both want the same thing, and y'all both are trying to work to get the same way, and you're not the same person, but you do balance each other out, that's what it's about. Balance. It's about balance. Everything is supposed to be balanced. And trust me, any enemies known or unknown is going to reap what they sow. 10-fold times 10, double time, I say. Any enemies known or unknown that has done something to harm you, hurt you, said things about you, is going to reap what they sow. 10-fold times 10, double time, I say. Any enemies known and unknown that's went and paid people that you thought that you loved, that was your friends or your family or your exes or whatever, to go against you, they're going to pay. Tenfold times 10, double time I say. They're going to pay, baby. They're going to pay. That's why you have to be very careful, because you don't know how deep the rabbit hole goes. See, you might have left them 15 years ago. That doesn't mean that they went and creeped up into your old friend group, new friend group, friends and family, and try to pay them off to sell you out. That's what they do, because it's beneficial for them to harm you, but it's more beneficial for you to not harm yourself. Keep going, baby. Keep going. Don't stop. Keep going. Because when it's like that, when it's so deep that I can't even mention half the things that I done been through, when it's so deep that I can't even mention half the things that I'm going through, when it's so deep and you just like, you don't even care about like no husband and none of that. You don't even care about like people that's like, you know what I'm saying, that's trying to befriend you and all of that stuff. You just, you want peace. Your peace is everything. You can't pay for that. But like, and you love your family and you protecting them, but you got to teach them too, because it's real out here in these spiritual streets. It's not a game out here in these spiritual streets, man. I'm telling you, before anything comes to physical, it's spiritual first. Before anything comes to physical, it's spiritual first. You think that man or that woman didn't scout you out? They wasn't on a hunt for somebody who they could take captive? Because your soul is so plentiful. They can do and make 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people rich from you. And you don't even know what I'm talking about, but because I'm talking bigger than what you thinking, you're not thinking about those things. I'm telling you for real. You got people out here working against you. You got people out here that's sitting around trying to analyze you and trying to stop you and trying to do different things to harm you. You got people out here that's utilizing your energy to make them millions of dollars, man. You got people out here that's trying to sacrifice you for real. People, regular people in regular houses. I'm not talking about no celebrity type shit. I'm talking about regular people in regular houses. Why I had listened to Cardi B's record, right? And not to I ain't throwing no shade on Cardi B. Cardi B is that, yeah. She real. And I'm like, I listened to her record and I'm like, I'm trying to wait for it to start popping, right? Because everything she said from her perspective, not everything. I'm not going to say everything. I don't want to experience all of that, but I experienced a lot. A lot of what she said, I can resonate with, right? And I'm waiting for her music to start popping. And I mean, it's been months. And I'm like, I'm not hearing it going viral. I'm like, why? You know why? Because she's telling the truth. Y'all want to be out here listening to some bullshit. Y'all want to be out here listening to people that's not telling the truth. People that's slicing stuff up. Money, bitches, cars, hoes. No, you want to hear something that's telling the truth. She might be raw with it, you know what I'm saying? And she been through what she been through, but haven't we all? We done all been through something that other people may have not or may have went through. But let me tell you something. I don't understand why she ain't been hyped like that. Why she ain't been, the stuff that she's saying, that's because what she's saying is probably like 80% of the men that's out here. Maybe 90% of the men and the women that's out here doing these things to people. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, has elevated, and I'm so proud of you, Cardi. I'm so proud of you. She is elevated. Y'all rather watch her go through hardship and her decision making to just have peace in her life. And maybe it didn't work out how it was supposed to. I don't know. I don't even know what they put on the thing. And I don't even follow social media like that. But y'all rather watch that than listen to how she grew. What kind of shit is that? I beg to differ. Y'all rather just hear bullshit. And I guess bullshit pays. You know what I'm saying? Y'all rather hear things that are yeah, y'all just like drama. I don't want to hear nobody arguing, fussing, tripping, down in their baby dads, down in their baby moms, down in their mamas, down in their daddies. Yeah, we all go through shit. But at the same sense, like, all y'all want is like drama. Y'all need to want growth, elevation, evolving. Grow, my nigga. You got people out here messing with Tom, Dick, and Harry, messing with all of these people. Then you wondering why they crazy. Because their energy done been pulled from all these different people. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody got needs. I get it. You pulling from all these different people and then you want to be healthy in the mind? It's parasitic. We are bugs, for real. We're bugs. Bugs. We are bugs of the earth. Regardless of how you want to look at it, we are bugs. You got all these bugs sucking on you, fucking you, and all of that stuff. And then you turn around and trying to act like, make you think you healthy. 40, 50 years old, if you still doing that, right? You couldn't be mentally stable. And a lot of people like around my age and stuff like that, a lot of men are like drunkards and still on shit. And I ain't knocking it. I ain't been through my shit too. But when does like you evolve? When do you get through it? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it takes time to get through it. I'm not down on nobody because like that is hard, you know, and some people just do it as like, you know, activity, you know, or whatever, an extracurricular activity. And some people just do it every day. You can't change the world. And without people being different, you know, the world would be boring. But everything pretty much stems from childhood issues. That's why you have to love yourself. That's why. If you don't love yourself, then you're not going to grow from it. And like, you know, we have a lot of men out here, black men, black women, that are broken. I was one of them. I'm still in some areas, I got shit going on because we never elevate to 100 in every way. We still growing, we still learning, we still got things to do in life. And it's okay to be coachable. It's okay to take heed to somebody else's constructive criticism. I'm open for constructive criticism. I don't care. At the end of the day, like, I'll check myself. I'm going to check myself. Yeah, you can say whatever you want about me, but I'm going to check myself because I know how I want to show up for myself. I don't care about the world, but I want to show up great for myself. And I don't mind. I'm open to constructive criticism, but love yourself, man. Love yourself so we can create more healthier babies. You know what I'm saying? Because for real, it puts a strenuous amount of pressure on us, whether men, single women, separated or whatever, when one of those persons are just like not healthy, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially. Look, I know people don't want to wait, especially when you older. People don't be wanting to wait like 3 to 5 years to get to know people, but like for real, like if we waited like 3 to 5 years to get to know people, and I didn't do that, but now that I've grown, if we waited like 3 to 5 years to see how people are, you'll know whether you want to have a kid with them or not. You'll definitely know whether you want to have a child with them, whether you're aligned or not, because you can sweep up under, the carpet. You can sweep some of the things that people do. You can be like, I can deal with that, but it's not like a 10. It might be like a 3. It might be like a 5. And I could probably deal with that, and that probably stop that because it's something slight. Keep going. Keep going, baby. Don't sweep that shit under the rug, babe. I'm telling you. I can't know who you sleep with. Okay? It's imperative. It's imperative for our future. It's imperative for our future. Most of these people out here shouldn't even be procreating for real. They procreating because they got cum. They got semen. That's why they procreate. You know what's in that semen? What's in that cum? If you only knew the half. Yeah, men and women have side effects, and that's your side effect. Please. If you don't do it for me, do it for you. Know who you sleep with, babe. If you got a person that's envious of you after you done had a kid by them, or jealous of you, and you don't want to accept that they jealous or envious, get ready for a ride. Get ready for a ride. But anyway, like I said, know who you sleep with. Know who you create life with. Know who you share energies with. Choose your company. That's what it come down to. Friend or foe. What? Choose your company. I'm out.